Welcome back to the Days of Our Lives channel, where we dive deep into the drama, twists, and heartfelt moments that keep Salem buzzing today. We're unpacking the explosive previews for the week of September 1st to 5th, highlighting intense courtroom battles, family reunions, and unexpected heroics that promise to shake things up. In the heart of Salem's bustling courthouse, tensions are skyrocketing as Brady Black takes a firm stand against EJ DiMera during her sentencing hearing. The scene opens with the stern judge directly addressing Kristen, inquiring if she wishes to revise her plea before the gavel falls, adding an extra layer of suspense to an already charged atmosphere. Brady, fueled by a mix of betrayal and unresolved emotions from their tumultuous history, steps forward to influence the outcome. He passionately urges the judge to impose the harshest penalty possible under the law, emphasizing the gravity of Kristen's actions and the need for justice to prevail. This moment isn't just about punishment, it reflects Brady's deep-seated frustrations, amplified by years of DiMera family schemes that have upended his life. Unbeknownst to him, Kristen's motives run deeper. She's shielding their daughter Rachel from a web of secrets that could shatter their fragile family bonds. Imagine the internal conflict. Kristen, often portrayed as the villainess with a heart, grappling with her choices while Brady pushes for maximum accountability, unaware that her silence is an act of maternal protection. As the week unfolds, this revelation could pivot their dynamic, forcing Brady to confront whether his quest for vengeance blinds him to the truth. Shifting gears to the therapeutic side of Salem, Xander finds himself in a vulnerable spot during an anger management session with the ever-insightful Dr. Marlene Evans. Xander vents his frustrations about a whirlwind of deceit, infidelity, and manipulative plots that have left him seething, details that hint at betrayals from close allies and rivals alike. Marlene, with her trademark empathy and probing questions, gently presses him to identify the culprits behind these grievances, aiming to unpack the emotional baggage that's been building like a storm. This therapy scene adds a fresh dimension to Xander's character, showcasing his efforts to reform amid Salem's chaotic undercurrents, perhaps drawing from his Scottish roots and past as a reformed bad boy. Meanwhile, across town, Gabby Hernandez is reveling in her latest scheme, having cleverly planted a bug in Xander's office to eavesdrop on sensitive conversations. She eagerly shares her findings with Tony DiMera, whose aristocratic poise can't hide his impatience as he prods her not to hold back on the juicy intel. Tony's involvement injects an element of old-world intrigue as he navigates the DiMera empire's power plays, urging Gabby to spill every detail that could tip the scales in their favor. This alliance between Gabby's street-smart cunning and Tony's strategic mind could unravel Xander's plans, setting the stage for corporate showdowns that echo the show's legacy of boardroom betrayals. The drama intensifies with Brady's ongoing obsession over his son Tate Black's mysterious baby situation, where questions about the child's gender keep him up at night. Brady's relentless pursuit for clarity stems from a father's instinctive need to connect, leading him to dig deeper into clues that might reveal if it's a boy or girl, perhaps consulting old family records or seeking out discreet informants in Salem's gossip circles. This fixation creates ripples of anxiety for Sophia Choi, who confides in the shrewd lawyer Melinda Trask about a critical error she made that could expose everything. Sophia, portrayed with youthful intensity, pleads for Melinda's expertise to conceal the truth surrounding Tesoro, a code name that adds an air of international mystery, possibly tied to hidden assets or secret lineages. Melinda, known for her no-nonsense approach and history of bending rules, might devise a clever legal maneuver to bury the evidence, all while navigating her own ethical dilemmas. These interactions highlight the show's theme of buried secrets resurfacing, with Sophia's mistake potentially linking back to broader conspiracies involving the Black family tree, enriching the narrative with layers of suspense and moral ambiguity. On a warmer note, the Devereaux household is abuzz with joy as Julie Williams prepares for a heartfelt family gathering. She's over the moon about Jack Devereaux and Jennifer Horton Devereaux returning home just in time for their son JJ Devereaux's birthday celebration, a milestone that promises laughter, cake, and perhaps a few emotional toasts. Julie's enthusiasm is palpable, drawing from her role as the family's matriarch, always ready with open arms and sage advice. Adding an unexpected twist, Jack extends an olive branch by inviting Gwen von Leusner to the festivities, but Gwen hesitates, questioning her place in a home filled with those who view her as an outsider due to past deceptions. Jack reassures her that he harbors no hatred, acknowledging the complicated history they share as half-siblings entangled in lies and revelations. Mending this rift won't be straightforward, involving honest conversations and perhaps some therapy-inspired insights from Marlene. But it opens doors to themes of forgiveness and redemption that have long defined days of our lives. Picture the party scene, balloons floating, old photo albums flipped through, and subtle tensions simmering beneath the surface, all while JJ blows out his candles, symbolizing new beginnings amid Salem's enduring family ties. Finally, the corporate intrigue at EJ DiMera reaches a dramatic peak when Philip Kyriakis suddenly begins choking, sending Xander into a frenzy of panic. In a heroic display, Xander leaps to action, expertly performing the Heimlich maneuver to dislodge the obstruction and save Philip's life, a move that showcases Xander's quick thinking and underlying loyalty despite their rivalries. This incident, set against the sleek offices of the merged empire, could be more than it seems. Whispers suggest it might be a calculated ploy by Philip to gauge Xander's true intentions. Philip, with his history of faked deaths and power grabs, may be testing whether Xander would go to such lengths for a supposed enemy, perhaps as part of a larger scheme to reclaim his stake in the company. Inventing a scenario where Philip slips a fake obstruction device into his own meal adds clever mischief, aligning with the show's tradition of elaborate tests of character. As Duel fans speculate, this act could forge an unlikely alliance or ignite fresh conflicts, reminding viewers that in Salem, even a life-saving moment might hide ulterior motives. There you have it, folks, another week of riveting storylines in days of our lives that blend courtroom drama, personal growth, family warmth, and high-stakes rescues. Stay tuned for more updates, and remember, in Salem, the truth always has a way of bubbling up when you least expect it. Next, drama unfolds in Salem, a day of secrets, heartache, and unexpected encounters. Dear readers, if you're like me and enjoy a good old-fashioned soap opera filled with twists, turns, and emotional roller coasters, then buckle up. Today, we're diving into the latest happenings in the beloved town of Salem from the show Days of Our Lives. It's Friday, August 29, 2025, and the air is thick with tension, hidden motives, and the kind of heartfelt conversations that keep us coming back for more. I'll walk you through the key moments step by step, expanding on the drama to make sure you can picture every sigh, every glare, and every whispered secret. We'll explore the characters' inner thoughts, their past pains, and the stormy futures that seem to loom just around the corner. By the end, you'll feel like you were right there in the hospital corridors or on the bustling streets of Salem. Let's start with the hospital scene, where family ties and old flames mix in a way that's sure to stir up trouble. EJ DiMera, that handsome but often troubled young man from one of Salem's most powerful families, makes his way to the hospital. He's not there for himself this time, thank goodness knows he's had his share of health scares, but to meet with Brady, the dedicated doctor who's always been like a rock for so many in town. Kayla needs EJ to sign some important papers. You see, these are for the regular checkups of his children. As a father, EJ takes this seriously. Those little ones are his world, especially after all the losses his family has endured over the years. The paperwork is straightforward, but in Salem, nothing stays simple for long. As they sit down in Kayla's office, surrounded by the sterile white walls and the faint beeps of medical machines in the background, the conversation turns personal. EJ mentions he's been dealing with a nasty case of strep throat, nothing life-threatening, but enough to make him feel run down and reflective. Kayla, with her kind eyes and years of experience caring for patients, listens sympathetically, but then the talk shifts to something deeper, EJ's recent separation from Kat. Oh, what a heartache that must be. Separations are never easy, especially in a town where relationships seem to ebb and flow like the tides. EJ's voice softens as he recalls the good times and the pain of letting go. And in that vulnerable moment, his mind drifts back to a kiss he shared with someone, perhaps a fleeting memory of passion that hints at unresolved feelings. Who could it be? In Salem, kisses like that often lead to fireworks, and not always the good kind. Kayla, sensing EJ's emotional state, decides to open up about her own worries. She confides in him about his brother, none other than the cunning EJ DiMera, who's always scheming in the shadows. Kayla's puzzled and a bit alarmed. Why on earth did EJ buy the entire hospital? It doesn't make sense to her. After all, it's not like it's connected to Versatex, that big pharmaceutical project EJ's been touting. Versatex is still years away from even starting human trials. It's all research and red tape at this point. So, what's EJ's real game? Is it power? Revenge? or something more sinister that could upend lives in Salem. Kayla's voice trembles slightly as she speaks, her hands fidgeting with a pen on her desk. She's not one to gossip lightly, but family secrets have a way of bubbling up when trust is involved. Chad, ever the loyal brother but with a growing sense of unease, offers to help. I can look into it for you, he says, his brow furrowing in determination. But even as he promises, he knows it's a tall order. EJ is a master at keeping secrets locked away tighter than a bank vault. Chad recalls past betrayals within the DiMera clan's lies, the manipulations, the times when blood ties felt more like chains. Will Chad uncover the truth, or will digging deeper pull him into a web of danger? As they part ways, the hospital hallway feels colder, charged with the unspoken fear that EJ's motives could spell trouble for everyone Kayla holds dear. This encounter isn't just about paperwork. It's a spark that could ignite a family feud, reminding us how fragile peace can be in Salem. Now, let's shift our gaze to the streets of Salem, where old friendships clash like thunderclouds. Leo Stark, that witty and often mischievous gossip columnist, bumps into Gwen Ritchik literally, as she's juggling a hefty shopping bag that looks ready to burst. Leo's eyes widen at the sight of all those luxury items peeking out. Spending Dimitri's fortune already, he quips, his tone laced with sarcasm. Dimitri von Leuschner, you might recall, is the wealthy heir who's been at the center of so many scandals, and his money has a way of attracting trouble like a magnet. Gwen, with her sharp features twisted in annoyance, doesn't hold back. The insults fly fast and furious, each one stinging like a bee. Leo fires back, defending himself by saying that if Dimitri hadn't left him that heartbreaking Dear John letter, the kind that ends a romance with cold, impersonal words, never would have crossed paths with Javi, his current flame. It's a moment of raw honesty amid the barbs, hinting at Leo's own vulnerabilities. But Gwen isn't buying it. Her face flushes with anger as she brands both Leo and Dimitri as traitors. You can both rot in hell, she spits out, her voice echoing down the street. The words hang in the air, heavy with betrayal. Gwen's been through the ringer deceptions, lost loves, and family dramas that would break a lesser person. This encounter reopens old wounds, making her relive the pain of being double-crossed by those she once trusted. Yet, beneath the fury, Leo notices something deeper in Gwen's eyes, hurt, real, aching hurt that softens his usually snarky demeanor. He pauses, the shopping bag forgotten, and asks gently, "Why do I even bother with you?" It's a question that reveals his true feelings. Leo admits, in a voice that's unusually sincere, that he still cares about her. Deep down, despite the mess they've made, he wishes they could mend their friendship and go back to the days of laughter and shared secrets. Friendships in Salem are rare treasures, often shattered by schemes, but Leo clings to the hope that theirs could be salvaged. Gwen, however, is having none of it. Her lips curl in disdain as she insists that Leo was never truly her friend after what he did to her. What exactly was that betrayal? We can only imagine the details, perhaps a stolen opportunity, a revealed secret, or a romantic entanglement that left scars. The accusation cuts deep, and Leo winces visibly. He presses on, curious now. Why are you even back in town? Everyone here hates you. It's a blunt question, but in Salem, where grudges last longer than winter, it's a fair one. The town has a long memory for wrongs, and Gwen's past actions have painted her as an outcast. Gwen's response is cryptic and chilling. She straightens her posture, clutching her bag like a shield, and says with a sly smile, "You'll find out soon enough. Enjoy your happiness while it lasts, because it won't be for long." Then, with a dramatic swirl of her coat, she storms off, leaving Leo standing there, a mix of confusion and dread washing over him. What does she mean? Is Gwen plotting revenge? Has she uncovered a secret that could shatter lives? The street suddenly feels emptier, the afternoon sun casting long shadows that mirror the uncertainty ahead. This isn't just a chance meeting. It's a harbinger of storms to come, where old alliances crumble and new vendettas rise. And speaking of rising tensions, the day isn't over yet. Brady Black, that steadfast family man who's faced more than his share of heartbreaks, from custody battles to lost loves, heads to the adoption attorney's office. The building is unassuming, with its polished wooden doors and stacks of legal files, but the air inside crackles with anticipation. What's Brady up to? Is he seeking to expand his family, perhaps adopting a child to fill the voids left by past tragedies? Or is this tied to some deeper plot involving his exes or the Kyriakis Empire? We don't have all the details yet, but in Salem, Visits like this often lead to life-altering revelations. Brady's face is set in determination as he steps inside, ready to face whatever paperwork or surprises await. Could this be the start of a new chapter, or another twist in the endless saga of love and loss? As the sun sets on this eventful Friday in Salem, we are left pondering the big questions. Will Chad unravel EJ's mysterious hospital purchase before it's too late? Can Leo and Gwen ever bridge the chasm of betrayal, or is their friendship doomed to the ashes? And what secrets is Gwen harboring that could upend the fragile happiness of those around her? One thing's for sure in Days of Our Lives, every conversation is a thread in a vast tapestry of drama, where emotions run high, secrets simmer, and tomorrow promises even more excitement. Stay tuned, dear friends. The sands of the hourglass keep turning, and so does the intrigue.